Youngblood Old Souls was an insane episode and a spectacular way to mark the end of the season. Luce saved Ida from the clutches of the Emperor, the portal to Earth was destroyed, and Lilith made things right with Ida by sharing her curse. I can't wait for the next episode.
Whenever that is, am I right?
To celebrate the occasion, I figured I'd make a video talking about some theories I have to answer some questions raised by the finale, as well as some predictions I have for the way Season 2 might go down. Let's talk. First up, let's discuss Emperor Belos. I hoped we'd get a glimpse at who was behind the mask in this episode, but unfortunately, even after Luce chipped it, his face is still shrouded in darkness. It is, however, very interesting that Luce was even able to crack his mask at all, showing us that he isn't as invincible as he's been made out to be. Now that we've found out he has some kind of obsession with Earth, I'm more convinced than ever that he's human, especially considering the first clue in episode 1 where we find out that in the Conformatorium, only humans can pass through the barrier to access the contraband. Just as a disclaimer, I don't think Luce and the Emperor are related, and just that they simply both happen to be human. There's no real reason for them to be related as far as I can tell, and I feel like the show makes a point about anyone being able to do magic, even if they aren't anybody special. I don't want a Rey Palpatine moment, and I don't think the show is giving us one. Seeing as Luce's magic didn't seem to work on Earth, I wonder if Belos' magic works in a similar way. Both of their magic seems to be linked very closely to the Titan, with Luce using magic taught to her by the Isles themselves, and the Emperor clearly having some very close connection to the Titan in general. If he is just a human, then I have a theory. What if he's absorbed the Titan's magic somehow, maybe merging with him, and his human form is unable to handle the power, which is why his body is so unstable? This makes a lot of sense to me, as it would explain why the huge heart in his throne room seems to accelerate when his adrenaline rushes. He shares his heart with the Titan. To add on to this theory, I think that the Emperor uses the magical essence found inside talismans to help his condition. I think it may be possible that this helps him stay stable, as he doesn't have the sac of bile that allows witches to contain magic, and would especially struggle to contain the Titan's magic. What's not quite clear yet, however, is how exactly Earth fits into the Day of Unity. Here's what I think. As we saw from Luce's battle with Lilith, Luce's glyphs don't seem to work on Earth, while Lilith's magic does. I believe this is because while the magic of a normal witch comes from the sac of bile on their hearts, Luce's magic comes from the Boiling Isles themselves. We can assume then, if Belos' magic is the Titan's magic, that his magic wouldn't work on Earth either, as he has no source of power there. Maybe the Day of Unity would somehow connect Earth to the Titan, giving Belos power on Earth. He says he doesn't want to invade the human world, calling that idea boorish, but it could still be a small part of a larger plan. Plus, I wouldn't put it past the Emperor to lie. Speaking of Emperor Belos and the portal, I wanted to discuss the implications of Luce destroying it, and what it may mean for her in the future. Now that Luce has no way to keep in contact with her mother, she'll think that her mother, Camellia, believes that she's disappeared. However, we know that someone's been sending her letters, and it definitely couldn't have been the Emperor, as he has no way to get to Earth. Narratively, the letters now make sense as a way for Luce to stay in the demon realm without having consequences on Earth. However, in-universe, it's still very suspicious. Did someone know that Luce would stay trapped in a demon realm? Can they predict the future, or is it maybe just some sort of huge coincidence? Next, let's talk about Lilith. I really liked Lilith before the penultimate episode of the season, so it was really nice to see her somewhat redeem herself here. Sharing Ida's curse with her was a very touching decision, although her reason for cursing Ida was very poor, and I think she'll need to do a lot more in order to win Ida's and the gang's trust. Now she is no longer in the Emperor's coven, it's very likely that she will now be a resident of the Owl House. This would be a crazy status quo change, and I'm really excited to see what happens with it. I can see Ida and Lilith fighting a lot, maybe Luce will try and get them to bond more, and I have a feeling Lilith won't get along very well with King given both of their very selfish tendencies. Now that she too is cursed, I wonder if Lilith will transform into an owl beast as well as Ida, or if the only effect of the curse now is that it leaves them both powerless. What's obvious is that they won't stay cursed forever, and I wonder if Lilith may have to track down the original salesman in order to find a cure. There doesn't seem to be any obvious option they have for curing the curse, so I think this is the most likely route for them to take. Last but not least is the question of the true identity behind the masked figure Belos has gotten to spy on the Owl House. The most intriguing thing for me is the fact that he wears a mask with an owl motif. Could it be someone we already know? My heart says it's Hooty, but my brain says don't be so stupid, you goddamn idiots. I've actually seen a few people take this very seriously, but I'd say it isn't very likely as we've seen Hooty fight off the Emperor's guards. Plus, Hooty is a pure, sweet boy and would never. Chances are we've not seen them yet, as there aren't very many likely contenders if it is someone we've already met. That's all for this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to see more content from me in the future. Please comment down below with your own theories and predictions for the second season, and thanks so much for watching.